because today's session, as we know, it's the most trending. And then I am not a right person to talk complete in detail. I hope so, but I'll throw some glimpse uh, how the things will work on background instead of telling how the things are working on here. Then I can say that few things will work on background that should be aware of our tendency, so that we might not in a myth like, okay, something large models are training somewhere, generative AI come into picture, then how the things are going on. Okay, fine, these are one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, what who is developing this, what are the guys, a group of developers are developing this. There are few step by step approaches we call an algorithm. Then what the algorithm says and how the algorithm is going to develop, this is my point of discussion of the whole session. I'm not going to talk about the how the thing models are done. I'm not also good at this, not good at this, but a bit percentage I know if working principles a model works. Then let's dive into a session. Then nowadays we have seen chat GPT, the buzzing word everywhere. Most of the guys we might be using chat GPT. Then it's fine. Yes, it's a groundbreaking research according to point of research point of view, and any company has done within a 4 days sell 100 million users. It's not a simple job, because Facebook, Insta, they struggle for 2 months or 3 months, but chat GPT is wonderful. But we'll see how the governing principles which drive to build a chat GPT with the help of LLMs. What LLM? Large language models. A large language model says which is not just arise from somewhere, which is already existing in the part of machine learning, in the part of deep learning, in the combination of machine learning, deep learning, where these models have taken a step ahead from the recurrent neural network and LSTM. This is not going a newly built model. Yes, this is a newly built model based upon your recurrent neural network. The guys coming from computer science background, they know what is RNN or LSTM. Then these two models have given a chance for developers. If a consecutive words come into a sequence, these models are not in a state to build the next word. LSTM is a good model, it's a wonderful model. It has the three gates, in the past gate, present gate, and future gate. It is doing a quite job of predicting a next word. But the concept of these LLM models is larger models. Whenever the larger models come into picture, then they should be enormous data. The collection of corpus should be very, very high. When collection of data, a corpus we call in a technical term, then that makes training of a model huge. As a huge amount of data is present, as a huge amount of training will produce, then there is a probability. See, uh, I will throw a glimpse on statistical perspective. There's a probability. We can't say that predict is not an, I hope according to me is not a right word. There's a probability that a consecutive words of sentence come, then system learn from his experience. That experience has some step-by-step approaches. That system, which is nothing but a transformers. The next stage of LSTM is transformer. Then before going there, let us understand what are LLMs and when they are developed and what their use of this. There are so many versions of GPTs. LLMs are based on the background. GPTs are the basic governing principles where runs the model. Then when you see the 2022 December, there was a blast in overall the AI community and data science community. The chat GPT has done wonderful job because it enacts like this human, and not almost human, a mimic. It tries to mimic like a human at some extent. It has done the wonderful job. Then as we said, there are versions of GPT as a single instance, not GPT have been developed now. Now the variation is GPT is an application oriented. They have used GPT for the text generation. Then the actual GPT has in variations. Previous GPT or before versions, they are be using of three kinds. One is text data, what we are using a ChatGPT is application. The second, if you write text data, system will generate an image, that is a Dolly 2. Again, is application. Then third, if you write some content in English, system will generate in music, that audio signals. That these are the three major parts where the GPT algorithm works. But Chat GPT is an application. Dolly 2 is an application. Sound AI is an application. That's a major difference. From taking of GPT-1, GPT 3.3.1, 3.5, their versions, and Chat GPT-4 has done a good groundbreaking research in parts of uh, all three perspectives. But Chat GPT has given a chance we can improve our research in upcoming phases. Then someone may asking like, what is the difference between Chat GPT and normal chatbots? Yes, Chat GPT has an advantage of reasoning encoder, positional decoder, where chatbots doesn't have the positional encoder, positional decoder. What the positional is like, when whenever we chat with chatbots, it will have in some set of instructions, depend on set of instructions only chatbot will work. Depends upon set. Where comes a chat GPT with the help of positional encoders? I have a slide on this. These positional encoders tell that what a user is asking a question. There's a keywords, a bag of words. Taking a bag of words, the positional encoder tells that he wants a point to be discussed on this topic. That's the major difference chat GPT and the chatbots. Then someone says, who is larger? All the algorithms are larger, or LLMs are larger. There are group of, you can see a diagram, a group of language models. Their BART is there, their LAM4 is there, LeCrode is there, so many. Because enormous large models are there. Out of this, large language models are built on with the help of NLP technique. With the help of NLP techniques, with a huge amount of corpuses, large language models have been come into existence. This is the basic history how they came. There are so many, not this, there are so many algorithms, so many models are prevailing background. Just we are doing only one algorithm. Then there are two properties we had to consider for large language models. The first quality is like quantitative, the second is a qualitative. What the quantitative is like, how it is different from chatbot now. The quantitative says how many number of parameters have been trained. Then an average, it says that 10 to 100 billion parameters have been trained in GPT. The GPT model for the newly released model, where what the parameter is like a corpus, what we discussed, the corpus, huge amount of corpus from different sources. It might be Wikipedia, it might be research papers, it might be some text producing contents. All this makes a corpus. then it trains on n number of enormous data, then there's a probability that system can have seen a consecutive words at one point it can predict the next word. That's the simple answer. Then comes to the qualitative, where the qualitative says zero shot learning. Then our discussion should be on zero shot learning. What should be zero shot learning and how it is going to help us? What the zero shot learning is like, as we said, if any word is coming at an instant, I want explain about some drug. Then in consecutive words, I'll provide and one name of a drug. Then not every time you should like please provide the details of a drug X triple detail. No, and just provide a drug name. Then system has to learn with a reasoning part, that is a positional encoding and then positional decoding. What is the user is asking, what the system has to generate. Then that is called zero shot. Let's have one more slide on zero shot. The major innovation with zero shot is chat GPT. As we have seen the Dolly 2, we write like mid journey now, the most buzzing word, generate a image with a background of black, the horse should be white. These are the positional encodings. These are the zero shot learning. Black is the background and the horse should be white. As horse, already the system knows how the horse structure will be. Now I'm telling the system, the group of scientists tells that horse is, we have a structure that should be white color, which should be frame in a black. That's a zero shot learning means. Then it might be no longer what we call to work on this. Zero shot is going to helping to achieve this kind of statements like positional encodings. Then we'll see a simple example how it might work with taking a simple statement. Suppose we talk about how the probability distribution, just we talk about. Suppose if there is a statement, what will be next word? We as a human tell the statement is listen to your, there's a dash bar. Then there's a three possibility that it might be heart, it might be earth, it might be body, it might be parents, some couple of this. But what the systems do, system checks from this who has the highest probability of word. That's an LLM, a basic LLM, where it works like, okay, you have given a line, listen to your what next. I need to predict. I need to predict what the probability of the word which is coming to this. Then it checks from, it's a huge number of large models, language models. From language models come to large models, a group of words. And what, which are the words are most probable? Then system will again will give a probability, not give an exact answer. At few cases, we might have checked with ChatGPT. At few cases, ChatGPT give a right answer, but few cases it throws a different answer. That purely depends on the probability. If it is known, there's a probability that from his corpus it throws the next point. It is doesn't understand, then it's to the other answer. This is a real time problem in both side of a coin. Then initially it started with GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-3, and so on. And at present, as a researchers claim, they have used 10 billion parameters, 10 billion parameters to train a GPT-4 version, so that they have given enough number of training corpus by this, I mean, 10 billion, as they mention. Because of this parameters tuning, system have a probability of predicting a few consecutive words, that's we can assume. Now there are three levels. how LLMs will work, because you have an corpus. Okay, fine. You have a team of researchers who work on GPT-1, GPT-2, and GPT. The present is GPT-4, and this is for, that is GPT 4.3, 4.4 now. Now, to work on LLM, now specifically comes to LLMs. Now, we have to follow three levels of procedure, because when you see Chat GPT, if you type a content, throws throws a response within a fraction of seconds. Fine. Then system has three methods in these are four methods. We can see we have a diagram also. Then the first thing, what they actually prompt engineering. This is the second buzzing word of today's content is like prompt engineering. What is prompt engineering? Okay, fine. Okay, if I type to Chat GPT, who is the president of India, it obviously have some answer. But the second sequence, if I try what's the name of the president, they should be question and answer type, right? Prompt, question one, answer, prompt, question two. This is called prompt engineering. A simple term I'm defining this. Then we are already using ChatGPT is completely prompt variation where you have like Q&A type of discussion. When after developing of prompt engineering, then second we have to go for uh, developing of some user interfaces, how LMS like ChatGPT has some user interfaces. Some left side we have some history part, some right side we have the content we need to display. That we need to develop an UI. That UI will help us to better interaction with a model, better interaction with a agent. That can be a second one. And the last one, where comes the most important part? Okay, fine. We are working on LLMs. LLM has done something. It terms from rather. Okay, what is the governing principles of LLMs? As of my system, other system, industry system doesn't support directly working on LLMs because it required huge amount of computation power. Then there is an alternative. There are three alternatives. The first only taking of OpenAIs. As Open Chat GPT is developed by OpenAI company. OpenAI gives an API where I have a software as a service. You just take it, you use it, and you will explore. That's the one part. The second, Hugging Face, where Hugging Face also do the same process. I have developed the LLMs. You take my API, you run. But the problem with Hugging Face required more amount of computation power and compared to OpenAI. The third, new trending is CLR 2. The CLR 2, again, it has provided API where this API now, as of now, this is only working for the US and UK based region. Now we'll try with OpenAI because we'll try to figure it out how it works with the help of OpenAI. Now, the complete background, what we discussed, there is a term called library called what we call terminology transformers, where transformers are complete governing principle of generative AI. Now we call about generative AI, GI, baby AI, right? These transformers are help in all three prospects. The three concepts. One is text generation, one is image generation, next one is music audio generation. Three will be applicable on these same concepts. Now, let's know. I'm not going to discuss about completely what are the transformers. I have a one picture representation how the transformer will be seen. The how the transformer will encoders will be there. How many encoders are there? Let's see on this. What are transformers? Already fine tuning. We have done this. Building your own model. Now, For LLMs, these are the three modules, and these are the few models to develop LLMs. First, they should be models, they should be chains, they should be prompts, indexes, memory agent. We'll discuss one by one what the models are, what the chains, what the prompt, all combinations makes and LAN chain framework. Now, LAN chain is a framework, already there are large language models. Out of this, they have framed a group of models to frame like a framework to work on this. That makes and chat GPT is an application. Now, we'll discuss one by one what the model says. There are n number of models, not one model. There are Brad then Hugging Face, there has a text to text generation. There are so many models are there. We need to select which models you are now working on. Already this, as I said, the APIs are available for us. We can use some APIs from them. Then data connection. Then we can use our own data in LLMs, and or as APIs are already connected to intranet, they are going to connect from the open source uh, contents where Wikipedia, all these contents. And the chains. And the chains is a complete CC, a sequential change, summarization change. What if you have a question and answer? Like if I'm asking what is the president, then he gives a name. Then what is his name? Again, he gives a name. What is his age? This is a Q&A sessions with the help of chains. This is the module present in LAN chain framework, where a consecutive discussions in the form of chains. Every time you need to write what is this, what is this. Okay, fine. What is age? Okay, what can be a time period? What, where she has born? All this combines with the help of chains within a Q&A sessions. Now agents here completely 4, 5, and 6 varies from where uh, a basic chatbots. Now here comes there. Now, agents, what the agents do is completely rain enforcement learning. What the rain enforcement learning, it learn by itself from his environment. Because so many users have been joined to ChatGPT, you might have observed initial step ChatGPT has not performed very good for a few questions. But what the rain enforcement learning has done, it has an reward points. When the past experience, if it is successful, it get a reward of higher reward. If is a success unsuccessful of reward, then get a lower order. Then system tries to learn by itself with the help of reinforcement learning. That's the agent is. That is complete a big discussion. The other, I mean, the uh, expert will work on this, but a basic what the agent is like the reinforcement learning, which learns from by itself. And the memory, as we are working in the chains, okay, who is the president? Okay, fine. Who is, then I'm asking the question next, who is the president of India? Tell her name. I'm not asking who is the president. I got some X name. Then the next name says that what's his age? Then what's his age refers to the previous one. That is called a memory part. Then where she has born. Then where she has born refers to again to the president of India, where I'm asking for. Where what is the qualification? Then this a consecutive chains will form in a sequential form. First one, that it should be in the past in the parts of the memory part. When you try to disturb the chat GPT, you are asking one question and you ask the other question, system will take a previous consecutive memories. If you are going to start a new discussion, then system will start a memory from there, that stage, but it will not remember the previous stage. That's the memory says. And the callbacks, all the iterative process, what you have seen 1 to 5 iterative process, we need to again go in iterative process and complete the process. Then few applications, few use cases of LAN chain framework, question and answers. Even question and answers has a prompt first part. It has fine tuning, which has an chaining part and the uh, memory part. Comes to chatbot. It also works. I mean, half of the chatbots, not the full. Summarization, how the if you are given a complete paragraph, how the system is going. It has some chains. It should have some memories. Agents, we are reinforcement learning agents. Interaction of APIs. These are some use cases of LangChain framework. Then here is a basic model how the transformer has generated. As I discussed in my previous starting of my session, this is not going to a new one, which is already existing. That is RNN, that is LSTM. See, LSTM also has a 3 gate. It is going to produce the fourth word. When it has a past gate, present gate, and future gate, it is going to predict a fourth gate as the predicting one. It can do, but now we need to have attention score. You can see here here attention score varies. If you want to dive deep in inside, please go to this paper, which is the authors they have developed. They are explained completely what the attention scores differ and how they are going to develop based upon RNN and RNN and LSTM. From then, these algorithms have developed as with the help of transformer as an architecture. This is where the Chat GPT whole works on this architecture. It is a transformers. Where transformer has, as I said, there are encoders, there are few decoders, and only for explanation of transformers, there should be, I hope so, a webinar how the transformer works on background. I hope so the organizers will have an uh, consider my request so that next we'll have uh, only on transformers, how the transformer works, how many layers are transformers, why there is an positional encoders, what do the positional decoders will do. Then just these are the architecture of chat gpt not chat gpt gpt 4 version. Please have a look for one few seconds. Yeah, but looking at this diagram, there are any number of components. Models are well connected. When we want to understand a complete now chat gpt's application, when anyone can type, when we want to type personally to learn something, the transformer should be your concentration area where you should at least spend a good quality of research papers. We'll explain what is transformers, how they work, and how we are going to apply in different applications. We have some questions. We'll take questions now, then we'll move forward. So many technical terms, very vast. Need serious. Yes, correct. Yes, brother. Yes, there is a question. There are so many. Yes, that's what your point is correct. New terms will be there. There should be a series of webinars, yeah, lectures, so that we can divide a actual generative AI. My point is, we can divide actual generative AI. Chat GPT is one part of what I can mean. If you please correct me if I'm wrong, because they are they are governing principle like transformers. At least 2 sessions have 1 hour complete sessions for transformers. Then we can learn in detail. Then the second question, very interesting, need lots of time. Yes, because uh, researchers are taking a more time. Obviously, our interest will dive into in this, and will if you work after a couple of months of days, we might be cope up with this. But for this, transformers should be a core understanding, because you might be looking at some picture, but there are few dependencies model to model, and complete frameworks has a dependencies. How, why the softmax is using, why the linear, why there is a normalization, why normal function is coming here, why can't other L1 and L2 there, why there's only batch processing. A complete discussion should be there. But the next, if time permits, the other experts will talk about what the transformers it look like. Just a minute.
Sorry to interrupt. I had a
Yeah,
quick question.
yeah, please.
Uh, where do these organizations get or build their corpus from? In the context of BARD, Google is a pretty big organization. Probably it had a large corpus already built through
Yes.
search engines and all that. But new startups or more recent startups like OpenAI, etc. Uh,
Yes.
where do they get their corpus from? I mean, I'm talking in the context of probably Hadoop or big data time frame when they would use web crawlers and all that to capture those large
Exactly.
amounts of data. But to work on LLMs, you need to have
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
huge
Mhm.
semantics, syntactical, all sorts of language inputs and all that. So, where do they buy it? Do they are there organization this selling
Mhm.
this corpus data for
Uh,
some
mhm.
amount?
No, what I mean, yes, some have some part of this, some organizations buy the data, but this research have been they are collecting from last 5 years and more than 10 years. They have, because we have three more major companies. One is Microsoft, one is IBM, second is Apple. I mean, they are IBM is other the major. They already have an enormous corpus because they are the providers. Google is a provider. I mean, my one part Microsoft is a provider. One part IBM is also provider of search engine. They have search engines. Then this group, these big companies can afford to collect in corpuses. But these guys are doing from last so many years. For the simple answer, what how we can work is like the answer is like APIs. The open AES, why open AES? As in researchers, we our system is not first part, not computationally high, because when you working on the 10 billion parameters, then we should assume what should be my hardware components. At least have should a GPU of higher end. I should have an processor of i7, not in i7, i9. Then the parallel processing has to be done to that is an industry point of discussion, because I'm not aware of industry, but to work on in internal system, then OpenAI provides an API where you can work. It's already built in system. Then corpus is available, models are available. Then you can start using of this. Is it a fine, brother? You need to elaborate something. Hugging
So,
Face, yes, Hugging Face is next one thing. That Hugging Face, it's required more computation because there is an inbuilt feature what they are coded. They are looking for inbuilt CUDA operation, that is GPU content. Then only the system is going to allow to run this code in a system. The best example is Falcon is already developed by Hugging Face. They are working on this. Yeah, brother.
yeah, Jazakallah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, fine. Just a minute. I'll preview other screen. Where is that? Okay. I hope screen is visible, brother. Yes. Then we have seen some framework of transformers, because there should be some complete discussion what the transformer works. This way, the ChatGPT has taken these steps to do a complete end-to-end projects. The first stage, they had to collect the data from a corpuses. Then they have to apply prompts. representation, how the interaction of Q&A sessions, and they should be labeled after collection of data. They should be prompt and the label demonstration of behavior, how it will works, and deploying a models, which models you are working on, the chat GPT 3, chat GPT 4. And the second step, collection, comparison, training of reward models. Then the model 4, 5, 6 comes now. Agents, chains, memories. These are the parts. Then end of the day, they have to develop some model. Let's have some demo, but it's, I hope so. There is a technical problem with me because I already I use OpenAI key. It's I have exceeded my usage. Then I had tried with Hugging Face. Again, there is my system doesn't have that higher computation power. The third, I have taken GPT AI from GitHub. I'll try to show this. Just have a look. Where it is? Okay, fine. Just a minute. Let's find. See, let me run this code. Just I already have configured some content, how it works. I have given some link. Just I'll go this interface. Can you able to see the screen? And anyone please respond me fast.
Yes, brother.
Yeah. I mean, we have discussed some prompt, right? These are the prompt, asking a question, giving us some responses. These are the prompt. This is UI. We have developed some UI phase, and there are some versions of GPTs. One, their version. Then still see, as I'm taking of open source from GitHub, it is not giving me to giving allow me to work on GPT-4. It has only access of GPT 3.5. That is turbo version. Then what's the problem is, like, if I type some like as a chat GPT, then system is working, but the response time is very high for me, because the only reason might be uh the API which I'm calling for, it's not responding to my request. Else then computation power doesn't support for this can be, I hope so, the problem with this. Then hereafter, the complete process of saying what the chat GPT will tell support. This all about a simple, a basic introductory about what LLMs do. Uh, what are the governing principles of LLMs? We have seen LangChain frameworks with the help of transformers. I hope I have done my presentation. I hope so, because it takes time. It after 15 to 20 minutes respond me back, because my chat GPT is not good. If you have any questions, have any discussions, then we can have a complete discussion. Abrar bhai,
Yeah,
suggestions.
yeah, I have a question, brother.
Yeah,
So for
please.
so if you look at the era of the OpenAI and so on, right? What
Yes.
are your suggestions for the developers and lead has to be look at our learn,
Mm-hmm.
and especially what I'm in for the technical manager.
Mm-hmm.
What are the areas I have to look at and learn in this era?
First, because I am also learning on transformers. My first concentration will be only in transformer as of now. To be frank, brother, because why transformers? Without the transformers, not we can't move forward in this discussion. Then transformers, with the help of transformers, there are so many models have been developed. We can't work on models. Then basic is like work on transformers. That can be a better next proceeding, where we can learn then we can try to build a bit a small LLMs on our own. I hope so.
Okay, okay. So that's for the developers. So
Ye-
for the technical managers, brother.
Technical, I'm not sure about this, because technical comes in application oriented, right? Then application, I never work on application. I work on research perspective. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not aware of this, because when it comes and research point of view, then these are the stages we need to work on this, because this is a related text. Then you can work on Dolly also, Dolly 2. That is again giving a text, generating of images. Then you go for audio AI. That is also giving some text, and then versions of there. Then again the transformers. Again we'll come to discussion of transformers. Application, I'm not aware of this, brother.
Okay, okay. And one last question, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
So, for entirely to generate a LLMs on
Hmm.
our own,
Hmm.
but what are the technologies we have to learn? So definitely the Python, those courses fine. So long
I
chain is one you have been referred here.
Yeah.
What else we have to learn?
Um, Already, if you're comfortable with deep learning, then you
Mm-hmm.
can go with LAN chain framework, and you can develop. I mean, these are like the trial and error. I mean, you develop something, some error is there, you can come back and brute force method we apply. But if you are completely new to this, then basic understanding of SVD, a basic understanding of neural nets, that can be at least RNN and RNN and LSTM,
Okay.
that can be a better approach.
Okay. So is that covers the pre-training, fine-tuning, all those stages, right?
Uh, at three up to half of this LSTM works. From here, the agent and the chain and the memory as a new added framework in the LAN chain framework. That's the difference. Up to LSTM, you do
Uh-huh.
a pre-training, you do your fine tuning, everything is fine. But how LAN chain is differ, someone has to work within prompt engineering. Someone
Mm-hmm.
has to work in like agent, like if question is coming out of the box, system has to work on this. That is reinforcement learning. Else, then the
Mm-hmm.
consecutive statements you are asking, there should be memory, right? If our user is asking some memory part with the help of chains, that's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But basic understanding RNN and LSTM, they must to understand the this LAN chain framework, brother.
Okay. 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 Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thanks. So the other question suggests some area we have to look developer leads, and already I hope we answer this. What are topics area of prospective generate use cases? You now generative is where I asked like what are the use cases now. Every organization is adopting generative AI, because they nowhere limits now, because if haven't they are with the help of chatbots, they're improving the chatbots with of chat GPTs, with the help of APIs, they're taking some money, and they are doing of this. And generating of mid journey is doing that, and the banking sector. And I hope so. I hope so that this generative use case will be drastically will affect cine industry. That I mean VX graphics, right? We do graphics. Then most of them, what we called a group of team will be doing the background setups, all this. But all this setup when goes to mid journey, right? One line of code will give a complete frame, then that is very dangerous. I hope so, because of the same problem the US is on the streets now. Why you are allowing AI, and they're killing our jobs? Maybe the cine industry is going to be affected with the generative AI most. There are pros and cons both side. Then the second question, so many things come into picture in reinforcement learning. This comes after a good background. That's brother. I mean, there are three stages: supervised, unsupervised reinforcement, and comfortable with and at least semi-supervised or self learning. Then reinforcement learning will be easy to understand. Then Abrar, my question: if anyone wants to start a PI, would you need a different hardware setup? uh, if you are working on I mean the question from Bravo is like, yes, if someone wants to start I mean startups, then what is the computation power required to do? Yes, obviously computation power should be very high, because every time we can't pay a huge amount of money to Amazon, IBM, and Google and Microsoft. But it's not that much simple to develop our by own. The software as service is a better option. I mean, most of the companies are already doing. Then like SageMaker, Amazon SageMaker has, there's a good plan. Then Amazon SageMaker, as my interest, I have done some research. Like it has providing all the uh, services which you require to develop LLMs. That then we can start from here, brother. I think don't consider yourself as a hero. It's all about a simple task to take LLMs from scratch. Only a big company. No, it's not about. I mean, OpenAI is a simple, small company. So brothers ask like, why big company? No, OpenAI is also a small company. I mean, they have developed then. The group of developers came from big companies. That's why here, like, already the group of developers, they work for Amazon, they work for Google, they work for Apple. They know the concept. Then a group of like-minded people, they started OpenAI. What are the signs of temperature while pulling data? Signatures, temperature while pulling data in OpenAI. Siddharth, bhai, can you elaborate your question?
So
I
basically,
think
brother, so if you have been using any
yes,
OpenAI API,
yes,
and there is a field there is an attribute will be giving
yes, brother.
like temperature, right? There is the
Correct,
attribute by default it will go, and
correct.
it has another fields also. It has significance, but I would like to understand what is this temperature
Mm-hmm.
significance of this temperature field
Mm-hmm.
that
Okay, the
API
one the code they will provide like temperature equal to 0.9,
something
zero point
something.
0.2, 0.3, something they provide, right?
Correct,
Then
correct.
they want a group of words in a limited format and then larger format. If you are given temperature equal to 1, that is the maximum limit. The threshold is maximum. That means if you are working for the what are the new technology, AI generation, your words is 4 words, correct? Then
Mm-hmm.
you want your answer to be a zero shot learning.
Mm-hmm.
Then what the temperature or 0.1, 0.9, what it do, like it divides the word which is correlate to an AI you are searching for, AI tools used for me. Then it will get information which is specific correlation, that we call it correlation to the specific word. That is a bag of word.
Got it,
I
brother.
still temperature. I mean, it extract the data with the help of that bag of word. What I mean.
Yeah, we have one token limit, and we have some temperature limit,
One
something,
more
right?
question. Explain. Okay, someone has shared something. Okay, yeah. Yeah, brother. Token limit.
No, I got the answer, brother. Thank you.
Hmm. Is there other questions we'll have on discussion now?
So, what are the next topics? Are you something planning to give it to us, brother?
Then most if organizers permit me, then I'll be working on only on transformers, at least one session or 2 sessions, because I want to learn the
Mm,
transformers
mm,
in deep.
mm,
Then
mm.
we'll have a discussion with the organizers what they are looking for. I mean, because they might plan few set of webinars.
Mm.
uh, we'll see, brother. I'll talk to organizers and I'll get back.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, yeah. Is there some other questions? Will Zubair Bhai asks, I have industry experience more than a decade in industry, current working as a solution. I have designed a course for lead and taken path. Uh, for path leading in a day. If okay, I can share. Yeah, yeah. Please, brother, please share it. If it's usable, we will. Even I'll be the first person to learn from this.
Yeah, hello, brother Abdul.
Yeah,
Zubair.
yeah, yeah, Zubair.
Actually, I'm more from the enterprise architecture group.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what the industry is going on and what this all this technology is about. So
Yeah.
from last 7 years, I've been architecting all data engineering pipelines,
Okay.
and and then ultimately that feeds to an AI system. I know what the data lake is all about and how we build AI ML models on top of that. So
Yeah.
now, like as this is a buzzword,
Mm-hmm.
generative AI. So
Mm-hmm.
in one of the webinars, I got to know that one of the high-paying prospective areas for generative AI is drug discovery, because
Mm-hmm.
what I could see from my perception is
Mm-hmm.
anything that is digital,
Okay.
any digital content can be generated by a LLM and GPT kind of a model.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be very helpful in drug discovery.
That's sure.
Okay, and in genetic engineering as well. So these are other prospective areas apart from the other areas. Basically, it generates content. As you are already an expert and you have done PhD in this, I know.
Yeah,
So
brother.
now I'll give you the industry perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
I had designed a course. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want, I can just share it to everyone. It will benefit everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Abrar bhai, is it fine? Please let me ask the organizer.
Yeah.
Abrar bhai,
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, is
yeah,
it
please
fine?
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, please, brother.
Yeah, sure, we can share.
Yeah, it is just for benefiting everyone.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
because
brother.
even I have gone through this journey right now, I'm getting into the generative AI part.
Mm-hmm.
So I would share it. Okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
have done these courses from Udemy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a full plan and everything. I'll just give me a couple of minutes. I'm just sharing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, please, please. Then we have so many experts in our field. That's
Then
very
you can
good, right?
also validate this and
Uh-huh.
let me know what are the things I can discuss it as well.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so because that ultimately it will benefit everyone.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, brother.
I'm just copying. I'm just trying to get it 1 second.
Yeah, yeah. Please take your time.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes, okay?
Sure, sure, brother. Meanwhile, if you have other questions, we'll have a discussion.
Brother
Hidayat
Zubair, you
bhai
can share
asks,
your number as well. I can get in touch with you later.
uh, I'll share, brother. I'll share you. Uh, mhm. I'll be sharing. I'm sharing openly. The next question is like, what is Mid Journey AI? Mid Journey is like, now everywhere is Mid Journey now. You might have seen some images like Mark Zuckerberg is flying somewhere, and I mean, like someone nowhere related to football match, football, and he's going to play football. What the ex-president of Donald Trump is doing some, I mean, other work. I mean, what that basically is like, you type some content in English. I mean, not plain English, develop a image with the help of Mark Zuckerberg, who plays cricket. Then system will generate the image. And what are the perspectives, features you want? He wants to wear an Indian jersey. You want to wear an American jersey. You can wear which, I mean, which jersey you want. The system will generate within, I hope so, 5 minutes. I hope so, because there are versions also. You can improvise the versions. I mean, once you can try Mid Journey, brother, I mean, you will love to. I mean, if you have a child and your cousins, nephews, someone, they love to see this.
Is this specific to something Dallas?
Yeah, one and the same. The Dolly 2.
Dolly 2, sorry.
Yeah, Dolly 2. Dolly 2 is like graphically is not that much up to mark, but Midjourney is graphically super, very super. Someone else recording will be available in a couple of days. Okay, fine.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Najafara.
Walaikum
Uh,
salam.
I'm MBBS doctor. I am like actually interested in medtech, so I have joined MMST program offered by IIT Kharagpur. So this
Mashallah.
is basically for MBBS graduates. So I wanted to ask, like, how can I start my tech journey? What, like, as a part of course curriculum, we are learning Python and all very basic things has been taught. And
Okay.
now I know like very basics of MATLAB and Simulink. So I
Mhm.
wanted to do certain projects where I can gain experience and I will be confident in this. So, and similar medtech industries I can join as my as a career. Can you please suggest me a career path for this?
And then I mean, as you said, doctor, you're from the medical background, right?
Yes, I'm a
Uh,
MBBS.
then great, that's fine. Then I mean, if you are able to cope out with the some programming concepts, not all, is some a bit 10 to 15%, then you will be in a good set because you know the background of medical terms, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then medical and in the fields of medical experts are domain experts are much required. Already you are a domain expert and you just spared some 6 months to 8 months of learning of introductory of machine learning with Python with all packages like TensorFlow, Keras, and sklearn. uh, when this flow can will add advanced you as very fast because you know the concepts. Then how to learn is like if you ping me, then I will be sharing some few links, then you can start your journey and you can learn by yourself. I have some couple of researchers which are corrected on all my throughout my PhD, then I can share which is useful. I hope so I can share with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
I'll ping you, sir, after the call.
yeah, please, sure.
Uh, Abdul Bhai, I
Yeah.
have already shared some the content.
Uh-huh.
Like anybody like who wants to take a path into generative AI as
Uh-huh.
per the industry, what he needs to do.
Okay.
Because in the industry, apart from just knowing generative AI is the last resort in this journey.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but the path what we have to adopt to build your knowledge and the skill is
Mm-hmm.
what I have given there.
Okay.
So, you need to know also the engineering pipeline. Basically, as
Yes.
the corpuses, you need to know the data engineering behind it, how the
Yes.
data is gathered from the different sources, and that thing has to come maybe
Yes.
from within an enterprise or outside an enterprise. An enterprise landscape, there are so many data sources. Outside also, there are so many data sources. Like we access the API, data through either API or web crawlers or whatever, and then
Exactly.
ultimately you build a corpus, and then on top of that what I can see is that you can build this GPTs and AIML, like a model which has 10 to 100 million parameters.
Yeah,
So,
brother, that's
so
exactly
now
what you said.
you also need to know the basics of AWS and data engineering. So
That's
I've
correct.
given all those things. People
Mm-hmm.
need not go and do
Mm-hmm.
expensive courses here and there. So
Okay.
they can buy this very simple thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are the courses from 300 to 1200.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy those courses, and one person can buy, and then three, four people in a group can share that IDs, and they can learn at their
Mm-hmm.
own ease and discuss. Here, discussion with an industry expert like you and among the group will definitely help. And from the industry side, if any input is needed, I'm ready to chip in.
Yeah, brother. I'll be sharing my what we call LinkedIn. Can we have a detailed
Yeah, yeah.
discussion?
Yeah. Please can send me the LinkedIn. I will connect on. I'm active on LinkedIn.
Yeah, brother. Just give me a minute. I'll be sharing my.
Zubair bhai, can you please take a similar webinar also on your
Yeah,
expertise?
I can definitely I can, and I can walk you through all these courses, and I can give you the details what you need to
You
do.
have my contact details or you want me to share?
Yeah, good name, sir.
My
What's
name
your
is Saif
name?
Abrar.
Yeah, Saif. Saif bhai, you can. I don't have your contact details and
Okay.
Mr. Abdul's contact details. If you could
Uh,
just pass it on to me, shall I share my email ID?
Then you can connect me on this phone
The
number,
best
or
best is LinkedIn.
yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn also.
Yeah.
Abdul Khalandar Basha. So I shared your LinkedIn in the
yeah.
chat window.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
So Abrar bhai, can you also share your LinkedIn profile? I'll connect you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'll connect with you offline.
Okay.
Zubair, can I have your LinkedIn email?
Yeah, I'm sending it. Just couple of just.
Zubair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great session, Guru. Couple of experts. Nice to network with all you guys. Inshallah, give me a chance to learn from you also, that I can explore knowledge in different areas. Uh, Abrar bhai, is fine session.
Ji?
Session, can we
Yeah,
wind?
yeah, definitely. So Jazakumullah khair, Abdul Khalandar bhai. That was a great session.
Can
And
we have it recorded? Sorry, can we have this session recording?
yeah, that is the link is already shared in the chat.
Can you
It will be available at
I
tinyurl.com/FIRD.
can you reshare it, because I just joined just now.
Yeah, I put that URL.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, all the experts and doctorates from different fields. At least I presented what I know, 5 to 10%. Inshallah, we'll meet some more.